David Choe was born in Los Angeles in 1976 to Korean immigrant parents. He spent his childhood in Koreatown, and in the late 1980s, as a teenager, he began establishing himself as one of the most important graffiti artists in the LA area. He briefly attended the California College of Arts before dropping out to pursue his career as a comic artist, releasing his first self-published graphic novel, Slow Jams, in 1996, which became something of a collector's item due to the fact that only 200 copies were printed and they were all given away at Comic-Con in 1998. In the early 2000s, Choe was arrested in Japan after a solo show of his when he got into an altercation with a police officer and spent 3 months in jail there. When he was released, he spent the next few years traveling back and forth from Los Angeles to Las Vegas with a serious gambling addiction. He said during those years he would sell a painting for a couple of $100,000 and then he would go to Vegas and use the money to try and win more.
Slowly yet surely, another huge thing that filled my life is gambling, and so gambling is a huge part of my life now. So
he claims to have eventually made $1 million off the roulette tables, carrying the cash back to LA in a pillowcase. During this time, however, Choe's work caught the eye of Sean Parker, founder of Napster, and in 2005, after Parker became president of the then small little startup called Facebook, he asked Choe to paint their first headquarters in Silicon Valley with murals and said that he could go as wild as he wanted with it. Choe despised social media and called Facebook a ridiculous idea, but he did agree to paint the building for a hefty sum at the time of $60,000. Here's some footage of David Choe painting the first Facebook headquarters. When it came time to being paid, Sean Parker offered him a choice between cash or company stock, but advised him to take the stock. It was a risky decision, however, as Choe told Howard Stern. At the time, Facebook was a joke. There was no guarantee that the business would amount to anything, and his shares would wind up worthless. But I believed in Sean. I didn't care about Facebook. I'm like, this kid knows something and I'm going to bet my money on him. So he took the stock due to the fact that he liked to gamble. Cut to 7 years later, and in 2012, Facebook went public at $38 a share. His stock options were now worth $200 million, making him the richest artist on the planet overnight. But what did he do with his sudden, enormous wealth? Reports say that he couldn't actually handle it, and he had to escape to Kenya and live with the Maasai tribespeople over there. Here's him on the Barbara Walters show, explaining his feelings.
I was already doing okay, and to have this abstract amount of money now, I cannot buy my privacy back. I was like, what the hell's happening? Every news, Al Jazeera, every news organization in the world is beating down the door trying to get a interview, and I'm like, oh my God.
Have you kept all the stock or have you sold some?
I sold some a while back.
The estimate was $200 million.
I think it's more than that, actually.
He went on to start a controversial podcast called DVD ASA and became an actor, starring in the hugely successful Netflix show Beef as Isaac Choe in 2023. He remains one of the wealthiest artists in the world today.